There's a place in the universe where every rule we know, gravity, time, even the speed of light, falls apart. If you fall in, you never come out. But what really happens inside a black hole? Forget what you learned in school or saw in science fiction. Today, we're going deeper, because new discoveries are completely flipping the script. You and I, plus world-famous physicist Brian Cox, are going to do what no human has ever done. We're jumping headfirst into a black hole, and by the end, you won't just know what would happen to your body. You'll understand how black holes are rewriting what we know about the entire universe. No clickbait. This is the cutting edge. So, what is a black hole? Let's rewind the universe. Over a century ago, Einstein's equations changed everything. Imagine a star way bigger than our sun, burning for millions of years. Eventually, it runs out of fuel. Gravity wins. In the blink of an eye, the star collapses. The result? An object so dense, not even light can escape its pull. Picture squeezing all the mass of our sun. Yes, the sun, down to the size of a small city, just 3 kilometers wide. Now, take something 6 million times heavier than that, and you've got Sagittarius A star, the supermassive black hole lurking at the center of our galaxy. It's invisible, but its presence is so powerful, we can see a disk of gas and dust swirling around it at near light speeds. The accretion disk. That's the only hint black holes give us that they're there. But here's where things get seriously weird. The closer you get to a black hole, the more the universe distorts. Space itself bends. Time warps. The laws you thought were unbreakable just break. All right, so let's do the unthinkable. Strap in. We're launching our spaceship straight towards Sagittarius A star. As we approach, something wild happens. For people watching from the outside, time speeds up. Clocks outside spin like crazy. But for us, everything seems totally normal. It's just another Tuesday. We reach the edge, the event horizon. This isn't a wall. There's no neon sign saying, "Abandon hope." You'd float across without even noticing. But here's the catch. Once you're in, there's absolutely no way out. Not even light can escape. The black hole has you. From the outside, anyone watching us would see us slow down, then freeze, then fade away as we cross the event horizon. But from our point of view, we just keep falling. Time feels normal. There's no warning, just a one-way trip to the unknown. So what happens next? Inside, the real nightmare begins. As we fall, gravity starts pulling on us in bizarre ways. Our feet feel a much stronger pull than our heads. This stretches us out, head to toe, and squeezes us sideways, like spaghetti. It's called spaghettification, and trust me, it's exactly as horrifying as it sounds. Here's a fun, or maybe terrifying fact. If the black hole is small, you get shredded before you even cross the event horizon. But with a supermassive black hole like Sagittarius A star, you don't feel a thing at first. You just keep falling, until deep inside, the forces ramp up to infinity, and, well, you get pulled apart atom by atom. Nature's most extreme noodle machine. But here's a mind bender. From your perspective, as you fall in, time feels completely normal. You're just falling, no sense of doom or drama. It's only as you approach the center that the forces become truly infinite, and physics itself melts down. So, what's actually at the center of a black hole? The singularity. For decades, scientists imagined it as a single point of infinite density, a place where matter is crushed out of existence. But new research is throwing all that into chaos. Turns out, the singularity isn't a place in space. It's a moment in time, the literal end of your personal timeline. There's no next moment. You hit a dead end, the final stop. Your journey, your story, ends right there. This is where even Einstein's legendary theories break. Physics just can't tell us what happens, and that's exactly why black holes have become the biggest mystery in science. But wait, the story isn't over. Because in the 1970s, Stephen Hawking turned everything upside down. He realized black holes aren't completely black. They leak faint heat, now called Hawking radiation, and over unimaginable time, they evaporate. That's wild enough, but it leads to a new question. If black holes eventually disappear, what happens to everything that fell in? Where does all that information go? Here's the paradox. In quantum physics, information, the fundamental stuff that makes up reality, can never be truly lost. Burn a piece of paper, and technically, you could reconstruct every atom from the ash, smoke, and heat. But throw something into a black hole, and is it just erased from existence? For decades, the answer seemed to be yes. But now, the latest research says the story isn't so simple. The faint Hawking radiation leaking out might actually encode all the information that ever fell in, scrambled so thoroughly you could never reassemble it, but not destroyed. It's like the world's hardest jigsaw puzzle, scattered across the universe. Still here? Good, because it gets even crazier. Let's talk about the holographic principle. Imagine every detail about everything that's ever fallen into a black hole is somehow stored on its surface, like a two-dimensional film wrapping a three-dimensional object. This isn't science fiction. This is real theoretical physics. In fact, many physicists now believe the entire universe might work this way. Everything we see, everything we experience, could be a 3D projection of information encoded on some distant boundary. If that sounds mind-boggling, you're not alone. Even scientists have a hard time explaining it in plain English. But the evidence keeps piling up. Black holes aren't just hungry monsters. They're windows into the deepest structure of reality. So, what does this mean for us? Black holes are more than just the universe's trash compactors. They're cosmic laboratories, revealing secrets about time, space, and the very nature of existence. Is our world really just information? Is time itself an illusion? Could we be missing entire dimensions of reality hiding in plain sight? And here's the kicker. Every time we learn something new about black holes, the universe becomes even stranger and more beautiful than before. Every night you look up at the sky, remember, somewhere out there, a black hole is waiting, holding secrets that could one day change everything we know. Congratulations, you're now one of the few who made it to the end and is up to date with all the major black hole science. We spend tireless days creating these short cinematic films. We don't mean to annoy or upset you, but if you genuinely learned something interesting and want to keep seeing more and more of these up-to-date science films, a like, comment, or even a subscribe would be deeply appreciated and beneficial to us. If you have any criticism, we are happy to take it as long as it can help us improve our videos for you. Thank you so much for your time and contribution. And as always, it was the unfiltered truth.